These look pretty good together. In the back, Silhouette plus Tauros, maybe? Tauros looks pretty good here. Like, ice resistance, water typing is good, rock resistance is good. Yeah, this looks solid. Way more. Sneasler. Okay, Sneasler Cleavor is the lead. And I have Aegislash and Aerodactyl. The biggest threat here is the Sneasler or the Cleavor? They're both scary for different reasons. I want to get rid of the Sneasler more, but I actually am more scared of the Cleavor.
Oh, yeah. I bring it out twice.
What is that? Half a stretch. Stretching time.
Seriously, this is for everyone.
Yeah.
Stretching.
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah, it's good.
Stretching.
You're driving with us.
I hope so.
Okay. お話を聞きましたけれども、当初よりもですね、ものすごいボリューム。オコン選手、オコンさん。Welcome back 下山。
They forgot the mic.
さあ、そしてマイナンバー87下山初登場ですよ。オリビアマン選手、
そういうところで本当に通用する人間作りましょうって思って明夫さんとの思いでやってるんで、その思いを本当に皆さんと、ね。
I have to say it's an honor to be here in front of you guys. Thank you all for coming to support us. It's a very exciting week, as always, for the Japanese Grand Prix. But
I'm going to drive it for the first time, or a version of it this afternoon, which I'm very excited for. But actually, I must say when we.
Well, now it's cold.
Is it not good?
I think it will be okay.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a big portion.
Oh my god.
この地域でにブラッド・ピットのファースト。すみません。黒がいい。はい、こちらお願いします。はい。Okay, great. I you wrote the book.
You did? Yeah.
no, I did.
Yes.
5 years ago.
Really?
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Is it in English, Ayal?
No, this is Japanese.
I want to read the translated version.
Awesome.
I hate my drivers. So nice.
Really? Oh wow.
Yeah? You can feel it's going? I don't know.
No.
I don't know the beginning.
Your brake went soft?
No, the brake went soft. Last time I didn't let them cool down and I went.
I got best coach ever.
Couldn't help it. How was it?
It's fun. That car has so much grit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really sketchy on the jumps, but it's so
Yeah.
good. It has so much grit.
It looks so cool out there.
Yeah.
Harry is coming up.
But man, you jump like that. That's like really flew. Yeah.
We really flew.
Great cornering grit.
Who was driving this then?
But me.
Yeah, okay.
You were quick in the fact. It took me a while to
Actually, wow.
You serious?
What did you do next? That one or whatever?
Oh, I need to take off my jumper. Mate, I was sweating in this. I got so hot driving. Huh?
Yes, you have right.
Oh my god, thank you.
How was it?
It was incredible. We were pushing, huh? We were really going for it. Check the lap time. Times are getting hot now.
I think you made a course record here.
Do you have the lap time? No. I was going for it.
Yeah, how was it?
That's amazing. Yeah. He's an amazing teacher. And this course is amazing. So it's brilliant.
Pretty fast out there.
Good teacher.
Yeah, good driver. Good driver.
See you later. Maybe.
With a smile, please.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Hi, my face.
Car's coming, please.
Karega.
Oh, the
Cutting
brakes
it,
are
dude.
strong.
Curry is coming up.
Okay.
Keep moving.
What's that? This is just a little while only. It's like a break. Nothing too serious.
Not enough, yeah, exactly. It was way better. The Wagyu was really high.
優勝経験を持つフランス人エスパーは2025年にチームに加入しました。昨シーズンの F1 ルーキーの一人であるオリーは
大きな価値が創出されるんじゃないかということで実現に至りました。それと一つですね、本当に
I fucked up. That's the wrong move.
入りますから。
Oh my god.
Are you alright?
I'm in Coventry City.
They're everywhere.
There's two in Tokyo. English for me. French. Oh, I will try. No, it's fantastic to be here. First of all, in Tokyo.
For the fans and all the supporters. Incredible to see you all today, to see you all on the track.
Of course, with Ayala's up us as well.
Can I get, first of all, both of you sort of turned in?
Perfect.
Cool. We're ready. That's when you are.
Great to meet you. Great to meet you. No, thank you for coming with us. It means a lot. It's very special. There we go.
Sorry, I'm not trying.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. See you later.
Thank you, guys. That's a wrap.
Mercedes had a qualifying trick that was banned by the FIA this week, And what did the internet do in reaction? They called them cheaters. A little bit too hastily, in my opinion. Because upon reflection, they really didn't cheat, and besides, there's a lot more interesting stuff to talk about this aspect anyway, so buckle in. The meat of this particular sandwich comes from what the race actually reported. Granted, the original revelation isn't anything new. I've talked about it on the channel before, but the speed of action from the FIA was snappier than I expected, I will give them that. But since this is a really huge part of my video, I'll give you a little bit more colour, as in elaborate on the news. Under these regulations, as a car burns through its battery on a qualifying lap, the power has to reduce in a controlled way approaching the timing line. A mandatory ramp down of 50 kilowatts per second, designed to prevent a cliff edge power loss that would be dangerous at speed. Mercedes and Red Bull found that triggering a legitimate MGUK shutdown also bypassed that ramp down requirement entirely. With the MGUK officially disabled for technical reasons, the car could run at maximum deployment all the way to the finish line. So we're not talking about huge tenths that could be game-changing, absolutely. It's really something that will give them that little bit more. But sometimes in Formula 1, especially at the front, hundredths can make the difference between a grid place or two. It's enough to give you that little bit more power out of the final corner so you're not bleeding power all the way to that final meter. And once you've finished and you're on your cooldown lap, you don't need all 1000 horsepower, just 570 odd will do, because that's what Mercedes has with the internal combustion engine. Now, I almost ran with the idea that they were using the whole thing the entire time. When I first discovered that they had used this technique as well as Red Bull, I was absolutely flabbergasted, and I thought this could be an absolute game changer. But I stopped myself from just calling them systematic cheaters, because, well, this isn't a cheat. This is something that the rules had not really clarified over properly. And quite honestly, I'm more fascinated and intrigued that they discovered this solution rather than completely outraged. It's not that dissimilar to what McLaren did with the Mini DRS a couple of years ago, as in it was a clever little loophole within the rules that could easily be milked upon by any designer should they actually discover it, and the same thing happened with the likes of Mercedes and Red Bull. But, like the Mini DRS, this could be something that is very, very track-specific, because as the race's article went on to actually elaborate on, it wasn't used for every single Grand Prix we've had thus far. Like with the Mini DRS, it could only be used when the straights were long enough, like we saw in Baku. It would have been good at Vegas and not really anywhere else. However, the social media trend these days is just to shout "witch" and condemn these situations. That Mercedes were bending the rules every Saturday while the fans celebrated the wrong thing. I get why it's spread. It does sound damning. The problem is, though, when you stop for a moment, the timeline doesn't really hold up. The headline caused folks to run away with that notion. Because read the article more closely. It states that it wasn't used during the Chinese Grand Prix weekend. The run from the final corner to the timing line at Shanghai was too short to make the gain worth the complication. In Japan, Mercedes actually turned off the solution before the FIA cottoned on immediately. I mean, it obviously didn't help that the Casio triangle right before the start-finish line was not that far to really make the exploit worthwhile, but also there had been complications over the course of free practice for both Red Bull and Mercedes that would have aroused a little bit more suspicion. Antonelli and Verstappen were left without power as they came out of the S's, and that looked really, really suspicious, as in, oh, you haven't got all that power to hand. Why is that? And as for Alex Albon, he stopped on the circuit entirely, another Mercedes-powered car. In fact, Ferrari went to the FIA weeks earlier, according to that race article, on the grounds of the MGUK suddenly turning off and you suddenly lose all power, or at least half of it. And not because they wanted to try and copy the trick for themselves, that is very, very clear here. I know that we all thought that this might be the return of Ferrari international aid, and it kind of is partly because Ferrari did go to the FIA, but in reality, it was really more on the safety side of things. So yeah, Mercedes' mind, the practice was just too risky to continue because it would have only attracted attention and may have actually risked them being disqualified from qualifying and having to start at the back. It really was not worth at least trying out for one Q1 lap, otherwise they might have been rumbled. Why risk tarnishing their good run up until that point and then continued onto the Sunday? Well, I mean, at least for the Italian Stappen, but we'll get to him in a bit. But out of all of this, one race definitely did yield some really meaningful gains from this technique, and that was, of course, the first race, the Australian Grand Prix. That's the actual story here, folks. Mercedes abandoned the tactic before any formal ban or clarification. In terms of the FIA language, whenever a clarification comes around, that's almost akin to the FIA and Joe Bauer going, are you sure you want to play with that fire Formula 1 team? Because we're looking and we're going to make things clear. So whenever you get rumblings that that's about to happen, it's them hinting, you better change things. Sure enough, the regulators of Formula 1 have actually confirmed all of this in writing. The shutdown function is for genuine emergencies only. Going forward, they'll be closely checking the data at the end of qualifying laps to ensure that particular shenanigan isn't pulled again. So yeah, the loophole is closed. And when you think about it, Red Bulls lost this tactic too, and they were battling for the 4th row on average. I mean, wow, they're losing several senior people, and now they're losing a qualifying salvo too, to get them into Q3 maybe? And then all of the rumours about Hannah Schmidt recently? Aside from all of that though, the rage and the celebrations have ultimately wound up at the wrong address. And the person who's ultimately benefited most out of all of this has actually not really said much about it, in fact, barely anything at all. Far less than the average Mercedes employee to boot. It's also the second time in recent months that the FIA has gone out of their way to close or amend a loophole that Mercedes has actually been able to gamify and they had discovered over the winter. You know, the whole compression ratio approach. Running the engine at around 18:1 at operating temperature while still clearing ambient checks at 16:1. That was pre-cleared before the season started. Rivals had flagged it months ago, so from the start of June, in time for Monaco, so in just 3 races' time, the measurement gets taken at operating temperatures. How will that affect Mercedes-powered teams? It's too early to say. The ballpark figure amongst many pundits is that it offers an extra 10-15 brake horsepower or something. That doesn't sound a lot in the grand scheme of things, but when you look at the charts that have become available according to Auto Racer, that the gap between Honda and Mercedes is around 70 odd in terms of the internal combustion side of things, and Ferrari, Audi and Honda will benefit from the ADUO, get that little bit closer. If Mercedes gets taken down a peg or two, then actually it decreases the gap and therefore extends the competition. This might end up being more important than you might think. It might all come down to the battery. Because Ferrari stands to gain a fair bit out of this, because even though their chassis is really, really good and they're great in the corners, their engine is relatively weak in comparison to Mercedes, and out of all of this, Red Bull 4 powertrains, they made a banger! It's just a shame the chassis is letting the side down. We'll find out the full ramifications of this in June, and probably after Monaco, since that's really not a power circuit. But anyway, that's 2 tools Mercedes discovered over the winter, gone before we've even gotten close to the European leg of the season, where the real meat of a championship campaign can be really established. It changes the scope of the team that had been flooding the zone of the media circus of Formula 1 throughout the entire winter. It also neuters a lot of the gamesmanship they could employ as well, including sandbagging. Right now, Mercedes looks like a team that's trying to hope that the homework that they had done over the winter will endure in terms of its effectiveness and strength, as everyone else is busy looking over their shoulders. And the FIA, who's the teacher of this classroom, is not exactly going out of their way to tell anyone off and try and stop anyone from getting closer to Mercedes. You know, they're turning a blind eye almost. But yes, you do need to look back to the winter and all of the stuff that I covered on the channel and everyone else within the F1 media sphere was doing. We were all talking about Mercedes. We were all hyping up Mercedes because the evidence looked compelling, because there was just so much of it. Toto Wolff wouldn't stop talking. And he also wasn't hedging his bets. He was loud and proud and extremely imperious looking. The speculation from journalists and paddock gossip was rich enough to back him up. And when the W17 was launched and we got all of the bump and press releases, it got ramped up considerably. All of the pre-season positioning and posturing, the tone coming out of Brackley, that was not cautious optimism. They looked ready to fight and to take back titles that they had thought that they had been denied over the course of their wilderness years, the entire ground effect era. Testing looked promising in terms of competitiveness, that they would definitely be up there. They were raking in the laps, but admittedly, I realised something was up in regards to their reliability. There were moments, especially during the Barcelona shakedown, where they were showing moments when they weren't exactly firing on all cylinders, and Ferrari in comparison, they looked a little bit more robust, a little bit more consistent, or if they did have problems, they were quickly rectified. And then Haas, a Ferrari customer, they were absolutely stonkingly fantastic and consistent. But despite that, they did look into it, and they did arrive in Melbourne with a car that went on to get a 1-2. albeit with plenty of mistakes and gaffes and issues along the way. But ultimately, they got the result, it doesn't matter, maximum points, 1-2, point proven. And of course, Toto Wolff told the media there was so much contentment within the team that they could fight for a world championship again instead of having to settle for a distant second place. But that's still a very respectable result, Toto. But in the eyes of the Austrian, not good enough. But you gotta realise, folks, Mercedes' wilderness years, they weren't exactly abysmal. It's not the same as when McLaren had their wilderness years when they fell as low as 9th out of 10 in the Constructors. The worst Mercedes got was a somewhat remotely distant 4th place. The W13, which everyone at Mercedes was agog about in how bad it was still 3rd place, only 39 points behind Ferrari, who were the pre-season favourites. So even then, their wilderness years weren't exactly wild and morose. They were disappointing, but they weren't to the level of absolute anguish and pain and misery and sorrow that Toto was trying to convey at the time. But okay, let's bring this back to 2026. Because 3 weeks later, after the Japanese Grand Prix and with wins and the team title lead, the same man was telling everyone who'd listened that what looked like a home run in the first 2 races was not the case. And there is no Bahrain Grand Prix or Saudi Grand Prix to help increase their lead in the Constructors. Miami would indeed, in Toto's eyes, be a reset, echoing exactly what his buddy Fred said not long after the Japanese race when Miami would be a completely new championship. I thought Fred was teasing and being punchy for the sake of Ferrari, but no. This tells me that teams have learned some things, and both Fred and Toto, who are very much bosom buddies, and very politically strong in the fight back against major regulation change, realise that some regulation change may have to go down. They are just going to fight tooth and nail to have as few changes done this year as possible. Well, I mean, because they're both in contention for championships. But either way, the Mercedes advantage that they thought that they had was not as big as we had feared, and it may not last for long. Because even McLaren signalling that they finally got a hand of the Mercedes power unit, probably after some backroom lobbying and a lot of angry words from Zak Brown, and of course they got a big upgrade package coming from Miami. And we all know what happened the last time McLaren introduced a comprehensive package at a Miami Grand Prix weekend. They arrived there that year in a similar position to this year, pace-wise I must stress, not reliability-wise, and they found something in that car nobody else had, and began their fight back to take that year's Constructors' crown. That redefined the championship for the team standing in Formula 1, and the lesson wasn't lost on anyone watching. There's also a difference between a team principal doing routine expectation management and one who's actually running in front of something. Dominant teams who are in genuine control do not need to soften their tone this quickly after only 3 races. What Toto's doing is trying to get ahead of the story before the story gets ahead of Toto. And I wish to take you back to around the time of the pre-season and to do with the compression ratio stuff. The language that Toto Wolff was using was not calm or composed or stoic even. No, he was resorting to saying teams should just get their shizzle together, and of course the word snitching to the FIA regarding the compression ratios. That's a really interesting word, Toto, to use. Snitching, as in the rival teams get snitches and snitches get stitches. It is quite nasty and really offensive.
I literally had the one.
Principle, the most dominant car in Formula 1 with now 2 closed loopholes, a regulation vote just days away as of recording this video, and 4 simultaneous pressures pressing on a 3-race advantage, had been using language akin to personal betrayal about legitimate FIA submissions from his competitors. You don't reach for that word from a position of comfort. This is not the same Toto Wolff I recall seeing a lot of during the mid-2010s, throughout the entire domination era of Mercedes when they genuinely looked calm and collected. And it's also telling me that Wolff is very much missing having a sparring partner of a similar magnitude and caliber, a Christian Horner-like figure. I'm not saying exactly like Christian Horner, but somebody who could emulate Christian Horner. The closest we've got right now, it's not Fred Vasseur, it's Zak Brown. But even then, he's not the team principal, he's the CEO of McLaren Racing, who's not there every single weekend, and he's also a Mercedes customer. We have got Toto acting like a loose cannon, and we all are starting to realise that, hey, maybe he's not quite as benevolent as we thought back in the day. And you could even argue that his fingerprints all over these current regulations are actually damaging the integrity of Formula 1 as the
but I thought you were going to switch up.
There we go. Caramel flavor.
We're not actually allowed to flambe here, so.
Hey, it smells amazing, Edwin.
And it tastes even better.
Wow.
Hey, you wait till you see what I do with some shrimp scampi.
It's really something. Man like you trying to make an honest living.
There's only one thing in the world that matters to me, Carl. And that's my family.
Welcome to the team.
I told you I'd get a job, man.
And here you go.
Thank you. I don't usually eat carbs.
Oh, I think I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
I'll go too.
You first.
Oh, no. You go ahead, son. I'll wait out here. Hey, my man, Carl. Didn't I tell you I'd be back to celebrate?
I was actually gonna give you a call. Turns out there's a policy. We can't hire ex-felons. I'm so sorry.
No, I got you, man.
You know what? Your meal's on me. Good luck to you, Edwin. You can do great. You're so articulate.
Thank you, man.
Hey, want one?
Hey, I'm sorry it took so long. I took care of the bill.
Really?
It's the least I can do. You let me live with you, Paige.
I just want to say that you getting this job is, I'm proud of you.
Thank you, baby. There we go. Caramel flavor.
We're not actually allowed to flambe here, so.
Hey, it smells amazing, Edwin.
And it tastes even better.
Wow.
Hey, you wait till you see what I do with some shrimp scampi.
It's really something. Man like you trying to make an honest living.
There's only one thing in the world that matters to me, Carl. And that's my family.
Welcome to the team.
I told you I'd get a job, man.
And here you go.
Thank you. I don't usually eat carbs.
Oh, I think I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
I'll go too.
You first.
Oh, no. You go ahead, son. I'll wait out here. Hey, my man, Carl. Didn't I tell you I'd be back to celebrate?
I was actually gonna give you a call. Turns out there's a policy. We can't hire ex-felons. I'm so sorry.
No, I got you, man.
You know what? Your meal's on me. Good luck to you, Edwin. You can do great. You're so articulate.
Thank you, man.
Hey, want one?
Hey, I'm sorry it took so long. I took care of the bill.
Really?
It's the least I can do. You let me live with you, Paige.
I just want to say that you getting this job is, I'm proud of you.
Thank you, baby. There we go. Caramel flavor.
We're not actually allowed to flambe here, so.
Hey, it smells amazing, Edwin.
And it tastes even better.
Wow.
Hey, you wait till you see what I do with some shrimp scampi.
It's really something. Man like you trying to make an honest living.
There's only one thing in the world that matters to me, Carl. And that's my family.
Welcome to the team.
I told you I'd get a job, man.
And here you go.
Thank you. I don't usually eat carbs.
Oh, I think I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
I'll go too.
You first.
Oh, no. You go ahead, son. I'll wait out here. Hey, my man, Carl. Didn't I tell you I'd be back to celebrate?
I was actually gonna give you a call. Turns out there's a policy. We can't hire ex-felons. I'm so sorry.
No, I got you, man.
You know what? Your meal.
Mount Rushmore, Japanese food.
So it's four.
Sushi, ramen, tempura, yakitori. Done.
Alright, what do you got, big man?
Unagi's on there. Sushi. I like sushi a lot. Teppanyaki, yakitori to finish it off.
Yakitori is just too good, and it's so simple, and like they just nailed that.
That's my favorite Japanese food.
Mount Rushmore, Japanese food.
So there's four.
Sushi, ramen, tempura, yakitori. Done.
Alright, what do you got, big man?
Unagi's on there. Sushi. I like sushi a lot. Teppanyaki, yakitori to finish it off.
Yakitori is just too good, and it's so simple, and like they just nailed that.
That's my favorite Japanese food.
Mount Rushmore, Japanese food.
So there's four.
Sushi, ramen, tempura, yakitori. Done.
Alright, what do you got, big man?
Unagi's on there. Sushi. I like sushi a lot. Teppanyaki, yakitori to finish it off.
Yakitori is just too good, and it's so simple, and like they just nailed that.
That's my favorite Japanese food.
Mount Rushmore, Japanese food.
So there's four.
Sushi, ramen, tempura, yakitori. Done.
Alright, what do you got, big man?
Unagi's on there. Sushi. I like sushi a lot. Teppanyaki, yakitori to finish it off.
Yakitori is just too good, and it's so simple, and like they just nailed that.
That's my favorite Japanese food.
Mount Rushmore, Japanese food.
So there's four.
Sushi, ramen, tempura, yakitori. Done.
Alright, what do you got, big man?
Unagi's on there. Sushi. I like sushi a lot. Teppanyaki, yakitori to finish it off.
Yakitori is just too good, and it's so simple, and like they just nailed that.
That's my favorite Japanese food.
Mount Rushmore, Japanese food.
So there's four.
Sushi, ramen, tempura, yakitori. Done.
Alright, what do you got, big man?
Thank you so much. So much. I think it works. I think it worked perfectly now. Worked perfectly now. Perfect. Okay. Access. Think. Okay. Really check if they check. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we can be this. We were almost about to use a couple of bad decisions. Cool, because I think on my end it looks perfect. Is there a way to check? Yeah, on the database side. I mean.
Unagi's on that. Sushi. I like sushi a lot. Teppanyaki, yakitori to finish it off.
Yakitori is just too good, and it's so simple. And
you.